Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 2021 NACME Graduating Scholar Recognition Ceremony. My name is Michelle Lozama, and I am the President and CEO of NACME. I am so excited to join our board companies, university partners, and most importantly, our honorees, friends, and family to celebrate the phenomenal accomplishment of NACME Scholars' achievement of conferring a degree in engineering or computer science. This evening's celebration will include words from our keynote speaker, Liliana Ramirez from Ford, representatives from 3 of our NACME partner universities, and shout outs by some of our fellow graduates. Before we begin our official program, I would like to cover a few webinar etiquette rules. Number 1, you will be muted during the entire beginning portion of the program. We will make an announcement towards the end of the program where we will unmute everyone so you will have a chance to clap and cheer. We hope you will give us your school and your honoree a shout out during this time. Rule number 2, we will have a Q&A after the keynote, so you'll be able to post a question in the chat for me to ask the keynote speaker directly. We will accommodate as many questions as we can in the allocated time so that we can stay on schedule. This last rule is a helpful hint. There are 2 ways that you can view today's presentation, speaker and gallery view. To switch from speaker view, tap switch to gallery view in the upper left corner of the Zoom window. If you do not see the controls, tap your screen to get them to appear. Most of the program should be viewed in the speaker view. At the end of the program during our celebration, when we're clapping and cheering our scholars, we encourage you to switch to gallery view. Please keep your video on so it will feel like you're a part of the event. We know that we're virtual, but we want to see you. So please keep your video on. We will spotlight attendees during the program. Okay, now we got the rules out the way. Let's move on to the program as we have several exciting presentations to congratulate you as a graduating NACME Scholar. So let's get started. Please join me in welcoming to the virtual microphone NACME's Board Chair, Frederick Toney, President, Global Ford Customer Service Division from Ford Motor Company. Mr. Toney?
My name is Frederick Toney. As Michelle indicated, I am the President of the Global Ford Customer Service Division from Ford Motor Company and Chairman of the Board of Directors for the National Action Council for Minorities in Engineering. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to NACME's 2021 Senior Recognition Program. NACME is a nonprofit organization run by our board of directors, represented by senior technology leaders who have invested both financial and human resources to support students' interests in their pursuit of a bachelor's degree in engineering or computer science. We work with your phenomenal university staff and faculty, individuals who hold titles such as multicultural engineering program directors, student success managers, and even the title of professor to ensure that you had the necessary programmatic tools to succeed. Although tonight is all about honoring you as a scholar, we would be remiss if we did not thank your university reps for doing the hard advocacy work on campus. University partners, we thank you. We also want to thank all the family members in your life that supported you throughout your education. We all know that without mom, dad, grandma, tia, and host of extended family supporting you along the way, you would not have made it to this level of achievement. So a big thank you to the family on the line. We honor you today. Lastly, and most importantly, my fellow board directors and I are passionate about supporting students to achieve their educational goals. We are honored to both recognize and celebrate all of the scholars tonight on this wonderful accomplishment. As you begin the next phase in life, we're confident that you will live the mission of NACME to enrich our American workforce with technical excellence while reflecting diversity in computer science and engineering. We encourage you to stay in touch with the organization as you pursue advanced career opportunities and to help the next generation of students achieve their goals. We thank you for achieving excellence. Welcome to the ceremony. I will turn it back over to Michelle now to meet one of our prestigious university representatives. Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Frederick. As he just said, we're going to welcome our first university rep to speak this evening, Dr. Sonia Garcia, Senior Director, Access and Inclusion, Texas A&M University. Dr. Garcia joined the college in 2014. In this role, she is responsible for the initiation, development, management, evaluation, and promotion of research-informed and strategic comprehensive activities and programs for the recruitment and success of historically underrepresented minority students and underserved communities in engineering at the undergraduate and graduate levels. Through pre-college efforts in collaboration with other stakeholders, such as the Office of Admissions at Texas A&M, high school partners, industry partners, Dr. Garcia has provided hundreds of students attending partner Texas high schools the opportunity to participate in hands-on engineering activities, as well as experiencing life on a college campus. Many of these students have since decided to pursue a degree in engineering at Texas A&M, and Dr. Garcia continues to work with them to ensure their success. Please welcome Dr. Garcia. Howdy, Dr. Garcia.
Thank you so very much for inviting me today. It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Sonia Garcia. I'm the Senior Director of Access and Inclusion at Texas A&M University. On behalf of Texas A&M University and our College of Engineering, I would like to congratulate all of you. Your tremendous tenacity, grit, and persistence in completing your degree in engineering. Believe me, we are all in awe of your tenacity. I know that you're going to be continue to be doing great things in the future and pay it forward in due time, like we all do. I also would like to congratulate NACME scholars from the College of Engineering at Texas A&M University who have graduated already, and they already have jobs with many of our NACME corporate sponsors, for instance, Microsoft, Shell, and HP. So congratulations to all of those students that already have a job with some of our corporate sponsors. Very proud of them. Since receiving this grant in 2013 for NACME, TAMU and the College of Engineering were forever changed. This block grant allowed us to support over 40 underrepresented students in completing their degree in engineering. Thus, without this block grant, without these corporate and sponsors, I do not think we would have accomplished as much as we did. So thank you again. We don't know how to say it, but thank you, thank you, thank you. So now it's a little time for us to brag a little bit about our students at Texas A&M University. So please allow me to do something. This is going to be the only avenue that I have to do so. We are so proud of our students. Since receiving the grant from 2013 to 2019, we had the following amazing results. 99% retention of our students. Our students' GPA were never lower than 3.3. Our NACME Scholar were always involved in the community. NACME Scholar became leaders of our students' organizations, not only on campus, but also off campus and nationally, many of them. NACME Scholar participated in REUs, completed research and internship abroad. Our NACME Scholar that graduated early on in 14, 15, 16, they're still very involved with us. They come in, they do presentation, they are guests, they teach in our seminars that we have for incoming freshmen and incoming NACME Scholars as well. So at least of 5 of our NACME Scholars that graduated between the period of 2016, 2019 have completed master's degree at Texas A&M University. So that is also an amazing accomplishment for our students. So we really want to give a shout out to those students. Our students have been very involved when our NACME corporate sponsors come into campus during career fair. NACME Scholar, in sum, is a family. And it's a family that is just really strong, diverse, and very loving and supportive. So thank you again, NACME. Thank you to our corporate sponsors for helping us out to change the life of over 40 students at Texas A&M University and hundreds and even thousands lives all over the country. Again, congratulations, NACME Scholars, and like we said at Texas A&M, Gigamagis. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia, for those wonderful words. And those pictures of all of the scholars who submitted quotes just warms my heart. We have an opportunity now to hear from one of those scholars live. Please help me in welcoming this shining scholar, Patricia Garcia.
Hello, fellow NACME scholars. My name is Patricia Garcia. I'm one of the first graduate of Florida International University's new interdisciplinary engineering degree with a concentration in manufacturing engineering and a minor in business management. I'm so grateful to the National Action Council for Minorities in Engineering for their support throughout my college education and professional career, as well as the opportunity to network with other students from around the nation. Attending NACME events and workshops via the CASE Academy program has truly made me feel supported and prepared for my future. For example, I was selected as one of 60 participants for the inaugural NACME Applied Machine Learning Intensive sponsored by Google. I'm currently on the campus of the University of Kentucky, participating in all-day classes and labs to gain direct experience in a competitive field. I hope to apply the knowledge gained through this program to pursue entrepreneurial opportunities in the future. If I can give any advice to my fellow graduating scholars, it would be not to be afraid to seek opportunities outside of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to be the first to pursue a goal. That we all have excelled is evidence in this prestigious scholarship that we've received. I look forward to staying connected, and I can't wait to see what we all accomplish. And as we say at FIU, go Panthers.
Thank you for those inspirational words, Patricia. We just heard from a current graduating scholar. Now I have the pleasure of introducing a NACME Scholar alum who will introduce our keynote speaker for this evening. Walter Sutherland is a high voltage applications engineer at Ford Motor Company. Walter has spent the majority of his 23-year career at Ford in powertrain, with various roles in fuel systems and electrified systems engineering. He is currently the lead engineer for under-hood high voltage components on the electrified Ford Transit van with global launch responsibilities in Kansas City and Turkey. Walter received his Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from Tuskegee University, where he was selected as a NACME Scholar. Walter also holds a Master's of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from Georgia Tech. Please join me in welcoming Walter to the virtual stage. Walter?
Thank you for that great introduction, Michelle. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the keynote speaker, Ms. Liliana Ramirez. Liliana Ramirez is the Global Director, Lean Manufacturing and Culture. In her role, she is responsible for overseeing the Ford production system, learning and development, and culture in manufacturing. She started her professional experience working as a civilian logistician for the United States Army and began her Ford career in 1993. She has manufacturing experience in the powertrain and stamping divisions and has held several key management positions within manufacturing. Liliana has a passion for the human side of lean. She is recognized for her ability to take a vision and make it a reality through sound strategy development and execution. Her passion for the human connection links back to her Latina roots and centers around the themes of family, loyalty, working together, and supporting one another. In addition to her manufacturing leadership roles, Liliana is the co-chair for the Women of Ford Manufacturing Resource Group and executive sponsor of the Ford Hispanic Network. She is committed to mentoring and sponsoring employees on both a professional and personal level. Liliana was born in Chicago and raised in Columbia, South America. She currently resides in Michigan. She's a mother of 3 sons, now grown men, who she inspires to be hardworking and independent. And she's also a grandmother of 2 boys, a toddler and an infant. Now, please do not forget, please feel free to ask your question by typing in the Q&A chat anytime during Mrs. Ramirez's presentation. Include your name, major, and what school you're graduating from in your chat. NACME's President and CEO, Michelle Lizama, will do her best to ask your questions out loud at the conclusion of the keynote. Now, please wave your hands in the air to show you are virtually clapping to join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Ms. Liliana Ramirez. Oh yes, and one last thing. Congratulations to the 2021 class of NACME Scholars, Golden Tigers, TU.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting me to celebrate with you. Thank you, Frederick, Tony, Michelle, students, family, and friends. I'm honored to be with you today. As I was reflecting on what I was going to say, I found myself wanting to tell you about a million things that I wish someone had told me 30 years ago when I started my journey. But not to worry, I'm limiting it to 3 areas that have become my credo. Find your passion and be yourself, fail forward, and temper your desire to move fast. The global pandemic has shaken our world in ways we haven't seen before. We found ourselves in a world of uncertainty and unknowns. It created chaos, fear, anxiety, desperation, and sorrow. But as we began to rethink our reality, it also created opportunities, heroic acts of compassion and kindness, opportunities to step up and make a difference for others, a clarity of understanding what matters most to us, and a redefinition of how and where to interact both personally and in the workplace. It has pushed the humanity to rethink the way we see things, the way we think, the way we work, and define what we truly value. This is a time of change with unique opportunities, a time that requires us to reevaluate and define what is truly significant in work and in our life. It's time to collaborate, to empathize, and to take action. You're entering the workforce in a unique time, full of energy, possibility, and innovation. You're now preparing to head out and conquer the world. Make your mark. You are what will shape our future, and the world is waiting for you. You will find when you enter the workforce that sometimes just doing the work, accomplishing your task will dominate your days. Not every day will be transformational, but you have a chance to leave your mark even on those ordinary days. As you enter the workforce, think about what gives you energy, what you value, what brings you purpose and joy, and don't ever let go of that passion. My passion has always been focusing on the human side of our business, the people-centered work, because people are at the core of everything that we do. Because we're all human, not students, not teachers, not customers, not employees, we're human beings. Hold on to the notion of seeing each other as people, understand each other's values. Doing this will make the world a better place and a more human place. March of last year, I found myself on a team working through how we would bring back our workforce during and after the pandemic. Normally, this would have been just another project, but as our world shut down and we felt such uncertainty, the work we were doing became about saving lives. We were not just returning employees to resume the production of vehicles, but now we were focused on providing the world with much needed personal protective and respirator equipment. We weren't focused on vehicle production or shareholder value. We were helping to save human lives. Looking at this project with that human lens in mind, my passion allowed for me to contribute to the development of a return to work playbook that was human-centric, interactive, and is tailored for our employees to understand and learn our new protocols. So my first piece of advice for you is to spend some time really reflecting on who you are, what your unique talents and gifts are, and what you value before you begin your journey. Generate a brand. A brand is the image others have of you. It's what you stand for and what you represent. It is the emotions and values that you want to embody. This is an important step to consider to ensure that you stay true to your personal self and are confident in bringing your true self to work with all of your individual talents, abilities, and values. You never know when you will be able to apply those skills so you can influence and make an impact. Little did I know the reality of the impact of this project, given the loss of my father to COVID. Keep in mind that this is a continual mindful exercise throughout your life and your career as you grow, mature, and you gain experience. People change, organizations change, priorities change, and sometimes even what you value can change. Continually assessing yourself and ensuring you stay true to yourself will ensure you're living your best life. Never has a graduating class been called to step into the future with more purpose than now. You are what we need today. Your background and your culture are assets only if you use them to create something different. Use your own passions to benefit the world. I came to the US when I was 12 years old. My mother left Colombia with the hope that I could have a better life. As an immigrant and a female in a manufacturing world, I was many times the only Latina and often the only woman in the room. For those of us who are immigrants, inequality is a pre-existing condition, something we often mistakenly try to overcome. I spent many years in my childhood and early career trying to fit in or hide my uniqueness. So my advice to you is, instead of trying to change yourself to fit an organization, find a workplace that values you and where you can bring your passion and unique perspective. Be yourself. Don't try to fit someone else's standard, because the minute that you do, you're risking the essence that makes you unique and special. This is an important time when there's a collective focus on racism, both overt and systemic, and I believe we're at the beginning of real change. There's more productive dialogue now than I can ever remember. When we can have different ideas, perspectives, experiences, opinions, in full safety to show up exactly as we are, the world becomes a better place. So find your passion and be yourself. My second piece of advice is fail forward. Sometimes the tangents in our careers, times when we go off course, whether due to family responsibilities, world events, or mistakes, lead us to gain amazing experiences and learn. I started my career at Romeo Engine Plant, responsible for scheduling and distribution for assembly and machining, or simply put, by my oldest son, who was 7 at the time, I counted heads for a living. At that time, I would go in to count engine heads on the production line at 3 o'clock in the morning due to the fact that we had a part shortage. So he thought I counted heads for a living. From the mouth of babes. I was responsible for putting our build plan into the computer for the plant on a Friday afternoon, and I somehow zeroed out the numbers, which led to suppliers to think that we weren't running that following week. I came in on Monday morning, the plant was in chaos, helicopters on the roof delivering parts. Little did I know I was the cause of it all. I had inadvertently adjusted the required supplier parts to 0, which brought the plant to a halt. I thought I was going to get fired, but my boss taught me the fail forward mindset, which is learn from your mistakes in a way that allows you to grow, because it's never about the failure, it's really about the recovery. To be a leader in the workforce, you need to be open to failure. It's important to remember that failure happens to everyone. Because you will fail, it's up to you to fail forward. Failure does not define you. Learn from it and move on, but don't make the same mistake twice. Making a mark, being successful in your career requires patience and commitment, and the realization that it comes with many setbacks and failures. How you respond to those challenges is really what defines you, not the event itself. Number 3, temper your desire to move fast. As you enter the workforce, you will confront competition to race to the top. Although it's important to put your name in the hat for the next promotion, you must also make sure you're prepared for when the opportunity comes. Spend your time developing yourself, make connections, and learn from others. I mention all of this to suggest to you that spending your time trying to map a path to the C-suite may not be well time spent versus the time you spend understanding yourself, your unique contributions, and focusing on your development. What matters is your readiness and how prepared you are when that next opportunity comes about. The path to the C-suite is with hard work. Finding sponsors that will advocate for you and mentors to help guide you along the way is also a very important step. We often try to go it alone to prove ourselves, but we can do that another way. Having a strong network of sponsors and mentors will help you identify the right roles to take that will help move your career forward. It's the journey, it's not about the destination. In your desire to move up, don't lose sight of living. In August, I will celebrate 28 years at Ford Motor Company. I can't begin to tell you how time flies. A few years back, I started a Living the Moment list. My list has things like volunteering at a women's center, convertible Mustang, paella in Spain, dancing the tango in Buenos Aires, destination family reunions, and the list goes on and on. The secret of well-being is to live in the present moment and shape your life by enjoying today. Our culture and business values the ability to get things done. That being said, if you're the only one standing at the end of that journey, it will be hollow and less gratifying. Find a way to bring others along with you. This means taking time to listen and reflect and to pause. Don't be in such a hurry and miss living while you're aspiring to get to the top. I started this list when my mother passed away 18 years ago at the age of 56. I then realized that you're here for a moment and tomorrow isn't promised. I add to my list every year and plan my time so I can accomplish every item. So graduating class of 2021, congratulations. Celebrate what you've accomplished. I know each and every one of you will make a difference and do great things. My challenge to you as you take your next steps into your journey is to find your passion and be yourself, fail forward, and temper your desire to move fast. Can't hear you.
That's the second time that I left my mic on. Thank you.
It's the whole virtual world. It's the whole virtual world.
10 microphones in here. I'm trying to make sure that all of them are on when they're supposed to be on. Thank you so much for those incredible words, Liliana. That was really phenomenal. So my job tonight is to ask you a couple of questions. I encourage everyone that's on the line that if you have a question for our keynote speaker to please enter them in the chat, and then we'll be able to ask her live based on her words of encouragement. I'm sure there's a lot of questions out there. We did receive one question before the beginning. I wanted to ask you one before I get to the question that we received based on the your bio that was put out. You gave great advice, right? And you really narrowed it down to focus in on 1, find your passion, 2, be yourself, and 3, the one I always encourage scholars because they're high performers and they always want to go straight to the top, right? Temper your desire to move fast. I know it took a lot to narrow it down to those 3. If there's one more that you can give, what would it be?
So I would say, Michelle, and I would stick with the advocacy and the sponsors and the mentors and the importance around that and making sure that you don't go it alone and that you seek out that advocacy and the sponsorship. But then I would also add that as you begin to take on leadership roles, pay it forward. And so take the time to then become a sponsor yourself and advocate for others and bring people along and bring people in that journey and begin to create that pipeline. So I would stick with that advocacy, but then becoming yourself an advocate as you begin to excel in your career.
Outstanding. We always encourage NACME scholars to pay forward and to advocate for issues that they're passionate about. Okay, we got a question. As a fellow Latina, did you find it was difficult to pursue your career, or did you find that you had advantages because of your background?
I would say maybe it was a little bit of both. So early in my career, for example, I was overlooked for an opportunity because people were making assumptions. I was Latina, I had 3 kids. I wasn't and shouldn't maybe be interested in developmental roles, or maybe if a role required traveling. And so that assumption was made. I was able to use that and actually, because I was passed up for that opportunity specifically, I reached out and began to look for different places, and I was able to identify a role that actually used my skills and my assets. And so they needed an auditor in Mexico. and my speaking the language became an asset. So I think it was a little bit of both, but it's really how you turn perhaps understanding and mitigating that risk and making sure that you are taking a different path. And so I found it actually both, a little bit of both, right? An asset. And for a moment in time, perhaps it wasn't, but then I was able to shift it around.
Exactly. Our lives are so complex, aren't they? It's both an asset and something to be mindful of. You talked about you have how many sons? 3?
I have 3 sons. Yes.
Oh my goodness. So one of the questions I always receive as a female in engineering, rising through the ranks, can women truly have it all? Can you raise a family, be an engineer, and rise through the executive ranks? Is it possible?
So I would have to say yes, because here I am. I have 3 kids. I have 2 beautiful grandchildren. I have a very special, significant other. So I have to say yes. And I actually think that nowadays it's not just women, to be honest with you, because you have that dual income family. And so everybody is trying to make sure that they're, managing it. I think that you have to be very purposeful. I think that you also have to maybe, part of my learnings were I was trying to be perfect at everything, perfect at work and perfect at home. And, I go back to when my 3rd grade son had to take candy to school for Halloween. And the objective was to take candy to school. In my own world, I ended up spending 24 hours sewing by hand individual boo bags with individual faces so I could put the Kit Kats in the boo bags.
Impressive.
So that's not necessary, right? And so that perfection is not necessary. So learning that, I think, becomes really important. Also, being present. And so being present when you're at work, being present when you're at home. And if these two interact, ensuring that that presence, wherever it is that you're at in that moment in time, is where you're at. And, I go back to a story, and we had hamsters, 2 hamsters that they told me that, hey, they're boys. 8 weeks later, I ended up with 8 baby hamsters.
Oh my goodness.
So I went to
2 kids and 8 hamsters?
8 baby hamsters. I went to the library. We didn't have Google at the time. And I learned how to take care of hamsters. And the first thing they said was, take out the male hamster because they will eat their young.
Oh my goodness.
I was on the phone with work, not present. I took out the wrong hamster. And so my kids to this day, I don't think they've forgiven me yet. And so my advice really in terms of balancing it, or, when these two intersect, really is be present when you're at work, be present when you're at home. Don't try to achieve perfection because it doesn't exist. Be kind to yourself, forgive yourself for the mistakes that you're going to make. And so I guess that would be my advice. I do think that it's possible, especially nowadays. I think that corporations are adding structure and processes that allow us to do parental leaves, or even with COVID, we found ourselves making changes to that. So I do think that it's possible. You just have to be intentional, purposeful, and manage it.
Right. I think that companies learned a lot during COVID on our ability as employees to be productive, right? So hopefully that will provide that work-life balance for females in particular as we continue to think about what the new normal will be. So I think we have one last question that we're going to ask from the chat. Kara Young, a university representative from University of Michigan. Her question is, hello, thank you for your great advice. Throughout your career, how did you decide what role area to try next in order to grow in your field? So what did you select? Well, where did you raise your hand in order to decide how to grow, how to take that next step?
So 2 two things come to mind. So one of them was different projects that I was involved in allowed me to learn and basically understand if there was something that was of interest with me. And so I go back to, first 8 years within my career, we had our production system that we were trying to implement, and it required a team-based organization. And so it intrigued me. And so I joined that team, and learning about that project allowed me to learn what that was. And it piqued my interest. And so I began to raise my hand for more projects, but then also have that discussion with my supervisor, basically saying, hey, if there's anything that's ever available, I want to be part of, of that team, or I want to be developed and I want to understand it more. And so it was really through a lot of the projects. At the same time, I think it was during the time where I was asking for developmental moves, but I honestly didn't really even know what I wanted. And so it wasn't until one of my plant managers in a very passionate way basically said, you don't know what you want. And so I had to come back and reassess. And, that's part of my advice is really understand what you bring to the team, what you bring to the organization. Understand your skills and like what you really love. And then once you do that, then you can articulate what it is that you like and what you don't like and what you are aspiring to, to get into. But until you do that, the conversations are very superficial. And so I found that as soon as I was able to articulate this side of that human side, organizational development, which is really what I love and what my passion is, then the conversations went in a different direction. I was able to identify people that I could talk to, and people were able to help me once I was able to articulate what it was that I was interested in. So I think it becomes really important, again, for you to know your wants and your desires and your values and what skills you actually bring to the organization.
Outstanding. You gave such helpful words of advice and some real nuggets to live by. NACME scholars, I hope you listen to her keynote presentation and the great answers to the Q&A. Thank you, Liliana, so much for joining us this evening. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And good luck to all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So with that, we're going to move on to the next portion of our program. And if you can help me introduce our next university representative, Dean Richard Harris from Northeastern University. Mr. Harris was born in Honduras, arriving in the U.S. at 4 years old. That's a long time ago. He holds a BS in industrial engineering and a Master's of Science in Applied Educational Psychology, and is a candidate for his doctorate, and he's at the ABD status, all but dissertation. Richard spent 15 plus years in industry as an engineer and/or manager for 2 companies prior to joining Northeastern. One, a division of Tyco Electronics Company in Massachusetts, and the second, Mitsubishi Chemical Corporation in Virginia. Richard joined Northeastern in 2003. He holds several positions. In the College of Engineering, he is the Assistant Dean, Academic Scholarship, Mentoring and Outreach. He is the Director of New Prime, Northeastern University Program in Multicultural Engineering. He's the College of Engineering co-chair for the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, affiliate professor of Africana Studies in the College of Social Sciences and Humanities, and he's a special advisor for educational pathway programs to the Office of the Provost. I thought I had a lot of work to do. Richard is a member of a number of organizations, including being both a member and an official chapter advisor to the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, otherwise known as SHIP, and the National Society of Black Engineers, otherwise known as NACME. Richard has received several recognitions for his work in the field. Please join to the virtual stage, Dean Richard Harris.
Wow, that was great. Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciated that. So as noted, my name is Richard Harris, and I want to congratulate all the NACME scholars on receiving this pivotal accomplishment and moment in their life journey thus far. NACME has played an important role at Northeastern University, which is in Boston, Massachusetts, where we were invited to become a NACME University partner in 2020 during this historic period of the COVID-19 pandemic. A historic period where all of society, the world, and our students were having to adjust and still thrive and not just survive. The NACME opportunity therefore aligns with our institutional strategic commitment, which remains central to Northeastern's commitment of diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice by providing both scholarships and ensuring support for underrepresented engineering and computer science students to make sure they are thriving and not just surviving. As noted, at Northeastern, I served many roles, including those as Assistant Dean, and ultimately as the inaugural NACME representative at Northeastern University. The majority of our NACME University scholars have started their journey within a summer bridge program at Northeastern, and as a result, they have become part of a unique cohort of academically successful scholars who are leaders within the community of Northeastern University, as well as leaders in academia, workforce development, and ultimately within the nation, which is exemplified through this NACME partnership. In conclusion, I want to leave the following with each of you as graduating seniors, and I quote from the book of Matthew: "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is henceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. Therefore, always know and remember, as the salt of the earth, you are the essential flavor to the spice of life in society. And as salt is essential to the human body and cannot live without it, you too are the essential life force which society needs and cannot live without as well. Continue to add your unique flavor to all that you do, and continue to be your true authentic selves in your future endeavors. I want to congratulate all of the 2021 class of NACME scholars, for your life journey continues. And in conclusion, I say go Huskies, and thank you so much to all of you.
The pandemic really had a huge impact on all of us, particularly the scholars we are celebrating today. On top of the pandemic experience worldwide, we also experienced a racial awakening with the daylight execution of George Floyd. Let's take a moment to reflect on why organizations like NACME exist from our creation in the mid-70s and what those issues are still relevant today in 2021. We have a lot to celebrate, but we also have a lot of work to do. Take a look.
I'm trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's not for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, 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 for the record. Been a little too nice for y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. 8-6 all the hate. I woke in a bar today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the bars, I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they got it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them Chuck the collar for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's not for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, 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 for the record. price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. 8-6 all the hay. I won't get a ball today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the balls. I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they got it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, let me try and call them stuff for you. For the record, live on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link no time to waste. For the record, 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 for the record. Been a little too nice for y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
A lot to celebrate, but still a lot of work to do. Please help me now welcome another shining scholar, one of Dean Harris's students that we just heard from, Linnea Mitchell from Northeastern. Linnea and I have a lot in common. We both graduated from Northeastern University as NACME scholars, me as an industrial engineer about 200 years ago, and Linnea as a chemical engineer just this month in 2021. We both are from New York City, me from the Bronx, she's from Brooklyn, and we both went to the same magnet STEM high school, Brooklyn Technical High School. Please join me in welcoming our next student speaker, Linnea Mitchell.
Hi, everyone. As Michelle just said, my name is Linnea Mitchell. I'm proud to say that I've now graduated with both my Bachelor of Science and my Master of Science in Chemical Engineering from Northeastern University, and that I did so as a NACME scholar. I'm also excited to begin my career with a full-time role at Air Products, a NACME board company, later this year. I met the Air Products NACME board director, Pat Garay, at the NACME Virtual Career Fair and had a great conversation about the company's incredible rotational program, supportive work environment, and commitments to both diversity and sustainability. Each conversation following that one allowed me to explore different opportunities at the company and to learn more about the community that I will soon be joining. I am so excited to start my journey at Air Products in the fall. It goes without saying that the NACME Scholarship Program has been a great opportunity for me. So I hope to be able to give back to future NACME scholars as they start their career journeys as well. I sincerely want to thank my NACME University rep and longtime mentor, Dean Harris, who you guys just heard from, for nominating me for this program and for guiding me and other students through the many challenges of pursuing an engineering degree. Your advice and counsel has been truly invaluable and will continue to have an impact throughout my career. I would also like to thank the NACME Board of Directors for investing in students like me in our pursuit of technical careers. I'm sure that I can speak for all of my fellow NACME scholars here today when I say that your support is greatly appreciated, and that we will carry your investment forward by encouraging others to pursue engineering careers and providing guidance to those who will follow in our footsteps. So to all my fellow NACME Scholar graduates here today, I'd like to say congratulations. And to all of my fellow Northeastern alums, I'd like to say go Huskies.
We're coming close to the end of the program. We would like to help me welcome our final university speaker for this evening, Laverne Bitsy Baldwin, Director, Kansas State University Multicultural Engineering Program. Laverne is Director of the KSU College of Engineering MEP program. She holds an endowed chair, the Dow Directorship for the Multicultural Engineering Program. Bitsy Baldwin is a citizen of the Navajo Nation and is originally from Tehachapi, New Mexico. The MEP program, established in 1977 as part of the Dean's Office at KSU College of Engineering, is a comprehensive program designed to identify, recruit, mentor, and graduate Black, Hispanic, and Native American students who are enrolled in the college. Bitsy Baldwin has held the position at K-State since 2005. Ms. Bitsy Baldwin holds a BA in mathematics with a minor in secondary education from Fort Lewis College, Durango, Colorado, and an MS in mathematics from KSU. She has also completed course requirements for a PhD in the field of geometric topology. I didn't know that. Her professional memberships include the Mathematics Association of America, American Society for Engineering Education, and the American Indian Science and Engineering Society, ACES. Please join me in welcoming Laverne Bitsy Baldwin.
Yat Laverne Bitsy Baldwin in Chia, Kia Ani and Shlu, Twarich Eatney Bushichin, Twahatcha, New Mexico Dan. That was my formal introduction in Navajo, which is my tribe and my language. And I told you my name is Laverne Bitsy Baldwin. I'm of the Towering House people, the Bitterwater people, and I'm from Tehachapi, New Mexico. So that's who I am. What I do is I'm director for the Multicultural Engineering program at Kansas State University. It's an honor to be here to speak with you today. And here's the one piece of advice that I hope you remember from these 3 minutes. Scholars, continue to go back to the basics. Make your bed every day. We'll come back to that. Kansas State University has a deep connection to NACME with the KSU alumnus, Dr. John Brooks Slaughter, who was NACME president and CEO. We also have many successful NACME alumni, including immediate past NACME board chair, Ray Dempsey. I'm sure they all join us in congratulating you, NACME scholars. So to NACME and the NACME corporate partners, congratulations, and thank you for supporting these successful, talented graduates. NACME scholarships have given our students time to be mentors, to be in student organizations and lead them, time to make connections to faculty and connect with university presidents, and time through this pandemic to take care of family. I'm grateful to NACME for this gift of time for our scholars who will move forward, take charge, and create great things in this world. Graduates, our elders are wise and they love us dearly. And the best piece of advice that I have to pass on to you is what I received from my grandmother, Naomi Vicente. Make your bed every day to remind yourself to finish what you started. When beginning a new part of our lives, we go back to the basics that sustained us. You have already built good habits at finishing what you started. The path to an engineering degree has been tough, and you found the focus, strength, and the people to get you through it and finish what you started. Apply the work ethic, determination, courage, and curiosity that sustained you through your degree to your work in the profession, and that will get you through to finish your work projects that you begin. It will also get you through the projects of your life, like moving your household to many new places, adding to your friends and family, sustaining those relationships, and with eyes wide open, creating your dream career and dream life. Finally, please keep in touch with us at your universities and stay connected to NACME. At Kansas State University and all of the NACME partner institutions, your friends, supportive faculty, and diversity program directors and deans already miss you. So check in. Be aware that your work provides a shining example for the next class of multicultural engineers. You've got this, NACME scholars. I wish you all the best. Congratulations.
Thank you, Laverne. NACME scholars, I hope you heard her words of wisdom. Please keep in touch. We need you for the next generation of NACME scholars and other multicultural engineering and computer science students. Now we're moving to our next segment. We're getting close to the fun part. I want to introduce a board director for a special announcement. Please join me in welcoming NACME's chair of the Finance Committee, Patrick Garay, Vice President, Special Projects, Air Products. He has a special announcement. Pat?
Hello, my name is Patrick Garay. I run strategic projects for Air Products. I'm also chair of the Finance Committee of the NACME board and a graduate of Lehigh University, a new NACME partner institution. Go Mountain Hawks. Engineering and computer science are tough and intense majors. We are so proud of your dedication, resilience, and accomplishments. To help you celebrate, NACME and its board of directors are pleased to present you a small but heartfelt gift to congratulate you on your graduation. Please accept a gift of $100, and we hope you will have a meal on us to congratulate yourself for a job well done. We look forward to seeing you in action as professionals, especially at our board companies. And a shout out to Linnea Mitchell. It seems ages since you and I met at the NACME Fair, and I just can't wait to see you at Air Products. Let me also say, felicitaciones a la clase de becarios de NACME 2021. Lo lograron.
Well, we've come to the last segment of tonight's program. Thank you, Patrick Garay and the Board of Directors for providing that small but heartfelt gift to students to pamper themselves to celebrate their graduation. They truly have achieved excellence, and we cannot be prouder of our NACME scholars. As we approach this last segment, we're about to tell you to turn on your microphones. We're going to turn it on for you, and your videos. But before we do that, I want to reflect on tonight's program. Beyond celebrating our scholars, I hope that you learned a little bit more about NACME today. I hope you learned that NACME does this work through phenomenal leaders of both universities and corporations. That NACME university reps are tireless advocates of the students that they love. That NACME board companies are true leaders in their space, dedicating both dollars and their time to ensure students have opportunities both at their companies and the industry at large. These two groups, university and companies, all have representatives that carry out the NACME mission. We owe these individuals a deep debt of gratitude for their work. We wanted to take a moment to remember two of these individuals that we lost in the last year. On the university side of the house, Tanya Whitlow from UC Davis passed away just last month. Tanya was a longtime advocate of students in STEM. She was known for, at ceremonies like this, for giving students a compass when they graduated from programs in engineering or computer science to encourage them to stay on the right path. We also lost Truman Bell from ExxonMobil, a pioneer in the STEM diversity space for more years than I can count. Truman sponsored me as a sophomore early on in my engineering academic career. He touched the life of so many students, both at programs at ExxonMobil and through his long-standing role participating on the NACME board. We remember both Tanya and Truman for their outstanding contributions to the success of young people through the years. Okay, with that memory, let's transition to the final celebration, as both Tanya and Truman would have wanted us to do. It's time to shout out your congratulations to your NACME scholars. I see a lot of university reps on the line, so make sure you get the students in the room, and when you see a university that you start screaming and shouting like I know you can do. We will shout out each partner university in alphabetical order who had a graduating NACME scholar between December 2020 and August 2021. Get your voice ready, get your hands ready to clap. We want to hear you out there as we scroll through the schools in alphabetical order. When you see your scholar's name, when you see your school, let's hear a shout, a clap, a woohoo. Cameras on, please. Microphones on. Are you ready? Let's go. thank you, everyone. That's the end of our show. To all of our speakers, all of our attendees, give a shout out. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Dr. Garcia. Thank you, Frederick Tony.
Thank you.
So appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. An excellent program. Thank you.
Outstanding, guys. Outstanding.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Great.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations.
Bye-bye.